Hello, everyone. Are you looking to list your Airbnb space and get bookings within 48 hours of listing? Don't worry, I got you. What's up, everyone? My name is Sharon Lynn John. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm also an Airbnb super host. I run a mentorship program. I have several communities out there, and currently I have 10 students listed with me in my co-hosting platform, and they have all gotten bookings within 48 hours or less with the settings that I have given them. My whole point of this YouTube video today is to go over all the Airbnb settings, the rationales of why I said it the way I said it, and to show you how to set up your Airbnb when you can get bookings within 48 hours. I'm gonna get right to it. Before I dive into the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Chances are, if it's gonna help you, it's gonna help other people. The last thing I wanted to mention is that if you're ready to list your Airbnb, whether it's a room, a house, a unique stay, and you're gonna watch this video to help guide you through listing your Airbnb, please use my link below to sign up for Airbnb. You list your listing, because not only will I get a bonus, but so will you. So use that link below. Airbnb will be giving you a bonus if you use it. All right, so I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna share my screen. So after you click that link to register, what you're gonna do, you're gonna have a screen. It's gonna look like this, okay? After you put in all your contact info, your first, your last name, like it makes you put in your date of birth, I think. It's gonna go like this. So for just like tutorial purposes, I'm going to be listing my house, even though it's already listed, but again, I'm just going to hit get started here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna tell us about your place. So you're gonna hit next, and whatever it is it a house, an apartment, like is it a unique stay? So for this purpose, I'm gonna just put house, and we're gonna hit next. We're gonna put entire place, but again, like if you're renting a room or a shared room, then you would click whatever as applicable to your listing. Then you're going to enter your address. Okay, so after you put your address and confirm the exact place on the map, it's going to share some basic information about your place. So what I like to do is, if it's a one bedroom, like if you're sharing a room, if it's a shared room, I will only allow max 2 guests. That's just because you don't need to like cram a bunch of people into one room. That could also bring some problems, especially if it is like a shared space with you or a family member or another tenant. You really only want 2 people to a room. However, if you're sharing, if it's an entire space that is listed, then you could actually go on and have at least 2 guests to every room. And then I like to have 1 or 2 queen air mattresses ready, depending on the size of my home. So if it could fit 1, great. If it could fit 2, even better. So I'm going to use my house as an example. I have a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. Each bedroom can fit 2 guests. So that's automatically 8 people. And then I have 2 queen air mattresses, because I do have 2 living spaces that can fit a queen air mattress. So I can fit up to 10 guests. And a lot of people will ask me, well, why would I want so many people in my house? Because you can actually charge. There's a setting on Airbnb, and I'm going to show you where you can charge extra per head per night. So, really, when you think about this, the goal is to occupy as many people as your space can, because you don't want to be competing with hotel rooms. So when you think about it, if you have a party of 10, would you rather book 3 or 4 different hotel rooms for probably $600 or $700 a night? Or would you rather book an Airbnb for $400 a night, and it has a kitchen and is pretty much fully equipped? The answer is you'd want to book the entire space. So as you go, you look in what's relevant. So my house has 4 bedrooms and it has 2 bathrooms. Actually, it has 4 beds, 6 beds if you count the air mattresses, and then 2 bathrooms. So you're just going to toggle to whatever's applicable for your home. If it's a shared space, you'll just have to indicate whether the bathroom is shared or private. Again, it really doesn't matter. I have people in my program where they have a shared bathroom and they are still making like $1,600 a month on average on each room for just sharing a bathroom. So really, I encourage you to list your space. If it can be listed or rented, then list it. The worst that can do is the worst that can happen is that you don't get bookings. So that's kind of what this screen is. And then as you hit next, It's gonna load. Make your place stand out. So we're gonna offer like up to 5 amenities, okay? So I always encourage you have Wi-Fi, have a TV. You could put parking on premises, paid or free. I usually like to make a way for there to be free parking on premises no matter what. Do you have a kitchen, a dedicated workspace, a washer? Like you really put what's applicable to the listing that you're having. Now, do we have any of these standout amenities? There are a couple standout amenities that you can check off right off the bat, and I'm going to show you. So you can't necessarily do hot tub or pool or patio unless your house has it, but the things that we can check would be barbecue grill. We could put fire pit. We could put an outdoor dining area if you wish. Again, this depends. Like if it's a condo, that might be a little different, but if you're renting an entire place, the goal is to have as many amenities as possible. And you can go get like a barbecue grill for like $100 or less somewhere. Like you can get a cheap one. Again, like I'm gonna make a whole new video talking about like the items that you should be buying for your Airbnb. If that's something you would want to hear, then comment below and tell me if that's something that you want to hear. But again, for now, I'm just telling you how to list it. But you could also go get a fire pit from Home Depot for like $50. So honestly, like these are the kind of amenities that you're going to want to provide for people that's going to make your listing stand out. So you should always have a first aid kit, smoke alarm. You should always have these no matter what. If you don't have them, go get them. It doesn't cost much. So go and place them in your home. Now, as we hit next, this is where you're just going to be adding photos. Now, you add whatever you got now, but I always suggest getting professional real estate photos. Whether it is a room or an entire place, you want professional real estate photos. That's actually going to put your listing up there. It's going to make it look nice. People are actually more likely to book something that is professionally taken instead of just taken with an iPhone. So I guess I'm going to add a couple of photos of my house right now. Okay, so after I got all my photos uploaded, take note that you want your cover photo to look a little bit better than you want it to be like a general living area, one that'll look good, or just the outside of the home. So I'm not going to keep this as my cover photo. I'm going to choose either the outside of my home or this living area. For my Airbnb, I have that make cover photo. All you have to do is toggle that top 3 dots right there and make it your cover photo. So you always want your cover photo to be the best one, but you don't want it to be like a bathroom or anything like that either. So just make sure that your cover photo, I also don't like to make it a bedroom. I don't know why. I just want people to see that general living space or the entire house, what the house will have to offer. So there's my cover photo. Keep in mind, these are my professional real estate photos that I'm using. It is absolutely okay to use an iPhone pictures in the meantime, just to get it up and listed. I've actually listed so many students who didn't have access to their professional real estate photos, or they were actually only scheduled like for a week in advance. And so they actually used their iPhone pictures and still got bookings with their iPhone pictures. The professional ones though, it really makes your listing stand out, and people are more likely to book something that looks more professional as opposed to like a DIY. So the reason I do get these professional real estate photos again is because people will see you more as like a serious business. You're more of a serious host. You're not somebody who's just gonna like blow it off and trying to make like money, right? So this does make you look professional. This makes you look like a more serious host. So as we're hitting next, we're gonna give your house a title. You want to just be very, very basic. So you're going to put home in whatever town or room in whatever town you're in. You don't need anything fancy. You just want to put home in whatever town you're in. So for these purposes, I'm just going to put home in Chicago. I'm in the Chicago suburbs, but for privacy purposes, I'm putting home in Chicago. Now you hit next. And then it's going to say describe your house. So you can only pick up to 2 highlights. Pick the 2 that resonate with your house the most. So some people think it's family friendly, unique, spacious, whatever it might be. My house is in a very, very peaceful neighborhood, and it's very friendly family. So we have a bunch of stuff for kids. There's kids parks everywhere. So it is also central, but I think peaceful and family friendly are the top 2 qualities of this house that draws people to it. So if you hit next, we're going to create a description. So keep in mind, you can only have like 500 characters for the description of your house. But what I actually like to do for the description is I'll go on ChatGPT and just get a description with AI. So what I will do is, hello, give me a description for an Airbnb listing in 500 characters or less, describing a single family home, entire space. This house has, see, I type too fast sometimes. This house has 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and it is very family friendly. See, if you want to type fast like me, you're gonna make a bunch of errors, right? But you could even like say some of the unique like things that will draw people to your house. So it is in a quiet neighborhood, but it is a 10-minute walk to 2 different downtown areas. The college is also a 10-minute drive. Nearest hospital is 10 minutes away. And the point of doing this is like you really got to think of where your house is, right? And I'm saying nearest hospital for privacy purposes, but if you know the name of the hospital, put the name of the hospital. If you know the name of the college, like put the name of the college, right? 10 minutes from Harvard. You want to be as like descriptive as possible and just make sure you're telling AI to do it in those characters or less. So they're going to have this, right? You can literally copy it and then paste it into your description. And then you could alter it as needed if you get any ideas to kind of like make it a little bit better or want to add or subtract certain things, then go ahead and add or subtract certain things, okay? So now we're going to hit next, and then it's going to be time to finish up and publish. So as we're finishing up and publish, the one thing that I want you guys to do is use Instant Book. Now, so many people are scared of utilizing this Instant Book setting because they're like, oh, what if I get like bad guests? What if I'm not ready? What if I'm listing it for 2 weeks from now? Well, there's a lot of things that you can do to avoid some of these situations where it's like an unexpected booking or an unideal guest. So with this instant book feature, all it does is just make it available to someone to book like right now. Like they don't have to inquire, they don't have to ask the host, which I see why this scares some hosts, but I'm going to give you a couple rationales why I use instant book is because most of the time when people are booking an Airbnb, they want to know that their accommodations are set. They want it now. They don't want to have to be asking anybody. They want to make that reservation now. Now, what I'm going to tell you with this setting is that you can actually go in and adjust your calendar. So the days that are blocked, they're blocked. Somebody cannot instantly book a day if it is blocked. So I do like to use Instant Book. Another risk that people have came up to me with for Instant Book is, what if it's a bad guest? What if they don't have reviews? Well, here's the thing. You don't have reviews, so you're going to have to accept somebody who doesn't have reviews, right? You want them to give you reviews so they can you want them to give you a review, you give them a review, right? So you're really going to help build each other's reputation on Airbnb in a way. Now, for more experienced hosts, the reason I still use Instant Book myself is because you could actually back out if the guest is a red flag guest. And what does it mean to be a red flag guest? Well, there's a couple of things, and I could go way more in detail about red flag guests on a different video. Comment below if that's something that you want to hear, a video that you want me to go into. But basically, like a red flag guest is somebody who doesn't have any bookings. It's somebody who has no reviews, maybe somebody who has bad reviews. And then the last one to look out for is like if they're from the same town as you. And I'm going to explain all of these red flag guests in a different video if you want to hear it. But basically, if it's a red flag guest, you just ask them. You ask them, hey, I see this, this, and this. You state the facts and basically ask, what are you planning to do in my house? Like, we don't allow parties. Or like, for example, if somebody created a big mess and created damage, you just remind them to follow the house rules and that they're liable for any damage, right? Now, let's say the guest responds and says, yes, I'm planning on having a party, blah, blah, blah. Well, parties is against our house rules anyways, so you can't really have a party. So either the guest can cancel it if you're not allowing it, or you can actually cancel it through Airbnb support, because now you have screenshot proof that this guest is already planning on breaking your house rules. And chances are Airbnb doesn't want to have to pay penalties any more than you do. So they will actually cancel this guest without penalty. So yes, I use this instant book feature because once you go look for listings on Airbnb and you toggle into those settings of like book immediately, a bunch of other listings will fall off because some require approving or declining requests. So we're going to go and hit next. Now we set our price. So how we're going to set our price. Let's say I'm in Chicago, okay? I'm going to go to Airbnb.com again. We're going to go and, sorry, this is my account, but I'm going to switch to traveling. Let's say like, yeah, my home is in Chicago. So we're going to search Chicago, Illinois, and then we're going to, let's say it's for like this weekend, or, let's say I want to go for Halloween. So where are we? Halloween. The 30th is going to be my check-in day. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay. For now, I'm just going to do this, not waste time. We're going to go this weekend, right? We're going to add some guests. Okay. So we're going to have let's say 8 guests because that's the max I can take, right? We're going to search and notice like what the listing prices are going for into our search, which I don't know why it's not loading. Just got to refresh the tab. It's glitching a little bit. There we go. So here we are. Here's all the homes in Chicago. We have a 6-bed, 6-bedroom, 5. So it's 5 bedrooms, 6 beds. Home in Chicago for $634 a night. Looks like we have an entire home in Arlington Heights. It's a 4-bedroom. And remember, like our house is a 4-bedroom too. So we have a 3-bedroom. Okay. And I kind of like to look at what these listings look like compared to my home, right? So my home, it kind of looks very similar to this one. And this is going for $477 a night. As you can see, Chicago is pretty lucrative here. So an entire place in Chicago, the cheapest one that kind of looked the most like mine is $477 a night. Now, also note though, that this person's a superhost. This person's a superhost. This person's not necessarily a superhost, but they've had some bookings before here. And then let's look at what's available for similar dates. So typically weekends are a little bit more expensive. But as you can see, like for a 4-bedroom condo, we're at like $485 a night. Again, this Elmwood Park, it's a suburb in Chicago, 4 bedrooms, we're at $350 a night. So basically you would just compare like what houses look like yours, what are their nightly rates. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to set my base price at $450 a night. Okay. We're going to hit next. And then these discounts. Now, I know it's tempting to pull off these discounts, but keep the new listing promotion, keep the weekly, and keep the monthly discount. This is actually going to promote your Airbnb on like the top of the list, right? So kind of like with anything, like with Instagram, Facebook, social media, the new up and coming is going to hit algorithms a lot faster. Well, very similar with Airbnb. Your new listing, you're going to be shown as like this up and coming. So this is your time to shine. These help these new listings kind of be those up and coming listings, and you'll get booked really, really fast. So if you get bookings really, really fast with these listings, that's great because you're going to use this as your opportunity to get that 5-star review where the customer has endless good things to say about you. So we're going to keep all of those settings as we're listing. Now, does your place have any of these? Even if you don't have exterior security cameras, I highly recommend getting them. If you don't have them, still put it in your description. This is going to make people know that, okay, outdoor is being monitored, so I better watch out for that. I actually have an issue. I had an issue one time with exterior security cameras. So if you want to hear that story, comment below. I will absolutely make another video telling that story about that exterior security camera. So another thing to note though, if you do have exterior security cameras, you have to list the exact space they are in. Again, that's a story for a different day, but you're not just going to put outdoor security cameras. You're going to put outdoor security cameras facing the front yard, side door, and backyard. I can't spell today. Side door and backyard. You're gonna hit continue. I don't put any noise monitors. That's just me. And then no weapons. So you shouldn't have any of that. But even if you don't have security cameras, it's something that you should invest in, especially if you're gonna have people coming in and out of your home. And just think of where you would put them and make sure you like actually put in a description that they are there. By law, if you have security cameras, you have to put where they are. You cannot have any indoor security cameras whatsoever. You are allowed to have outdoor, but it has to be very specific on where it is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then it's going to say it's ready to publish. We're going to set up our calendar, adjust our settings, and prepare for our first guest. So we're going to hit publish. I'm actually going to delete this publish right away, but so nobody books it. So I'm going to hit let's get started, and I'm going to go to my listings, and yeah, these are all the listings that my student have. So let me get into my home in Chicago. I'm going to make it like, I want to make it an inactive listing though. Because if you're not ready to like launch it, you're going to get rid of that listing. So if you're actually not quite ready to launch your home yet, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your calendar. We're going to go to home in Chicago, and there's pricing and availability. You're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to put availability window. You're going to put dates unavailable by default, and you're going to go back and change this once you're ready to launch. Now, when it comes to availability and launch dates, if you're a newer listing, I like to say only do 3 months in advance because you're going to want to have that trial, right? So if it's not doing well after 1 or 2 months, that might tell you that that it's not the season for Airbnb right now. And I could actually make a whole new video on seasons and how to perform a market analysis for Airbnb and show you how to do that in any given location. So just comment if that's a video that you want to see. I'll make one anyways. But basically, like, you're gonna have to do this trial where if it's not doing so well for the next like 3, 6, whatever months, then you can actually only keep it open for that 3 months, block it out, and list it on like a midterm rental site such as like Furnish Finders, or even listed as a midterm rental on Zillow. Because one of my biggest rules is that if you're not doing well on Airbnb in a season, then you block it off and you pivot to a midterm rental. Now, that's not saying that your Airbnb is going to do bad all the time. It's just there's some areas that are very seasonal for Airbnb, and your goal should be to make the most money off of any given situation. So we're going to put dates unavailable at default, but just because I don't want anyone to book this because this actually isn't a real listing, that would be really bad. But you're going to put dates available 3 months in advance, right? That's what I personally recommend. This is what I have for all of my students, right? Now, we're going to look in the availability, and I always put advance notice same day. I don't require an advance notice. I don't require preparation time. We have same day notice here. Now, the reason for that is because I make sure that my Airbnb is always going to be set up no matter what. So it's going to be ready, even if it's vacant, right? The second I get a booking, I'm calling my cleaning service and I'm telling them I need an Airbnb cleaning for 8 a.m. or 11 a.m., whatever my checkout day is. 11 a.m. on this day, a cleaner needs to get there. If I can't get a cleaner there, I'm not blocking the day. I'm calling a different cleaning company. That's actually another video that I plan on making. Is how to hire your crews for remote access. So stay tuned for that video as well. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stay on topic with my listing settings. So we do same day advance notice. We basically let them book right. I also do put a minimum of 1 night because I'm such a new listing. I want to take as many people as I can get because reviews are so important initially. So I do a 1 night minimum. Now, if you're renting a space, like a room, and you have to share with these people, 1 night minimum might not be your go-to, which I totally understand. I have students who have renting a room on 1 night minimums and they are absolutely killing it. I also have another student who does like a 14-day minimum or a 7-day minimum, right? So if it's an entire space though, and the best recommendation is 1 night minimum if that's something that you can make work, because the more reviews you get, quicker. So even though 1 day might seem like a waste, you're getting faster reviews. The faster you get those reviews, the sooner you can up your price, the sooner that you're establishing that name, that really good customer service name on Airbnb. So if possible, keep it at that 1 night minimum. So we go to pricing here. So, we're in the calendar. We went to our settings. We blocked it out for when we're ready to launch. Now we're in our pricing settings, okay? We're at $450 per night. Custom weekend price, I always put it up $100 more, okay? So then I hit save. Now, these nights are blocked. However, they're not going to be blocked forever. So right now we're in September, or we're in October. I like to go and we're going to increase the price on holidays. This is the first thing I'm going to do, okay? So this is Thanksgiving week. I'm going to do the first, second, third, fourth, and then that Sunday. I'm going to adjust the price to $700 a night for Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to go down to Christmas and we're going to do the 23rd, basically all the way through the new year to the 2nd. And we're going to put that at $700 a night. Now, everyone says, isn't that not a lot? Will people book? Answer is yes, they will actually book it. Last Christmas, I had a 6-day booking and they paid $3,000 just to stay in my house for the holidays. So yes, this next thing you will do is you're going to go through and increase all the prices of the holidays that's in that 3-month window. If you really wanted to do it, you can do it outside of that 3-month window as well, because when it's unblocked, it's ready for you. So maybe you want to unblock, you want to increase the price of Valentine's Day, go do Valentine's Day. Maybe you want to do St. Patrick's Day and spring break, and maybe you want to go and look up some events that are happening in your town and increase the price for those. So that's what you're going to want to do. That is your next step. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to go back to your listings. We're going to go back to our home in Chicago. And we're going to create your photo tour. I always recommend this because it sorts out your photos. It's AI generated and it sorts out your photos on like, this is the bedroom, this is the bathroom. So once your photo tour is ready, there you go. Boom, it's showing everything. We got our title, we got our property type. The next thing you're going to want to go into is your pricing, okay? Even though we already set all of our pricing. All right, so once you're in that pricing section of your Airbnb, you're going to click find more discounts on calendar. It's going to take you back to that calendar. You're going to go into that additional charges and we're going to do a cleaning fee. Now you could really set your cleaning fee like, and I have another video on how to get cleaners, but basically like, let's say it's $150 for a cleaning, I'll charge $180. So I could profit a little bit off of that, right? So $100 cleaning fee per stay. Pet fee, I'm going to I usually like to put like $50 per pet. Again, that really kind of depends on your listing, but if it's like a single room, maybe only do $20 per pet or $15 per pet. If it's an entire place, you're going to do $50 per pet. Extra guest fee. So this is what I was talking about. So you have 4 bedrooms that could fit 2 people in each. You get your queen air mattress, 1 or 2, right? So for each guest after 8, okay? So the bedrooms could fit 8. For each guest after 8, we're going to charge an extra 80 per head and hit save. Now this really kind of depends on the area. So Chicago is like, it's a little bit more expensive as you saw, but if you're charging like $350 a night, then I would charge 50 an extra per head. If it's 200, then maybe I would charge closer to like 25 per person, right? And then we're going to, so that's actually good. I don't include any management, community, linen fee, nothing like that, because that's going to be all in my, that's going to be all in my listing, right? That's going to be included in it. So now that's set, I'm going to go back to my listing editor, and we already got our descriptions. We got, you could even add your like accessibility features. So if you, this is important, like if you have a single family, like if you have a single family home, it's like a single level, that's what I meant to say, like a single level, then you can actually go and put like step-free path to the guest entrance, step-free guest entrance. Like you could always put like put everything, right? Accessible parking spots. So if you have those, you want to click it, you want to optimize that. Now the next thing that you want to do is, we got instant book on, we're going to go to our house rules. Okay. I allow pets. The reason I allow pets is because by law, they can bring a service animal even if you don't have pets. And legally, you are not allowed to ask for proof. You're not allowed to ask for papers. They are allowed to bring their service animal no matter what. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You want to allow pets. People are going to bring their service animals anyways, even if they're not a service animal. So you might as well allow pets. Okay. Maximum number of pets allowed. Again, if it's a single room, I only allow 1. If it's an entire place, I like to allow 2, max 3, depending on if it's like a big house or not. Events allowed, no. No smoking. I do like to put quiet hours. I usually put 11 to 7, but if you live in an extra quiet neighborhood, you could absolutely put like 10 to 7, whatever. Commercial photography and filming, I allow it. I really don't care if they're gonna film in my house. It's totally fine. We got the number of guests. Now I'm gonna do the check-in, check-out times. I always put checkout at 11, and I don't have an end time to my check-in window. So a lot of Airbnb hosts will put a check-in and end time where, yes, you can't check in past 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. because they don't want to have to like wake up and like lose sleep making sure their guests get in. Well, little disclaimer, you want to make it as convenient to your guests as possible. Some people have late flights. Some people have delays. So I put that end time as flexible, just because it's really going to optimize that listing. That's going to make your listing more desirable to other people. Oh, sorry, check-in time, we're doing 3 p.m., not 11 a.m. And then your checkout time, that's their check-in time is going to be, checkout is going to be 11 a.m. Now, a lot of people like, why can't, a lot of people do like 10 a.m. for checkout and 4 p.m. for check-in. I don't do that. I like to make sure that there's like as little as window as possible. When I'm looking for a hotel, I like the 11 a.m. checkout time and the 3 p.m. check-in. So you got to find yourself a cleaning crew that could flip it in 4 hours. So again, I am making another video on that, so stay tuned for that. Now, we're going to go to our additional rules. And this is where you're going to copy and paste what I have in my description to your house rules. I have a disclaimer. I have everything that's going to cover your butt with that. So I have like, hosts are reliable for, or guests are reliable for damage. Like we're not responsible for any loss or stolen property. I also like to put that any property that's left on the any personal belongings or property left on the property after checkout is assumed to be abandoned and legally can be disposed of by the host. Now, will I actually really dispose of somebody's items? No. I'm going to message them and say, hey, so-and-so, you left this here. When would you like to get it? Like I'll leave it in the mailbox. But again, like I did have an incident where somebody left a bunch of like garbage tables on the side of our house and they were late checkout. Like they gave, well, an unauthorized late checkout. And that's a whole different story for a different day. But long story short, like these just looked so bad at the side of our house. It was garbage. And I ended up just tossing it because they kept saying they're going to come get it and then they didn't. And it was just becoming a big hassle. We had people checking in and out. We couldn't have that. So We threw it out. The person ended up saying, hey, I want my tables back. And we screenshot those additional rules that it was assumed to be abandoned. So really, like, all of these things are a CYA, cover your you know what, cover your butt, in case you have these things. Now, are you going to be really this strict in general? No. But again, like, you want to have that CYA for those people who do kind of try to like maneuver through those house rules, right? So you hit save, we type in the house rules. Again, I'm going to have the house rules in the description that I use. You can copy and paste it to your listing. So I'm going to hit save, and then we're done. Now, that is pretty much all of the settings that I use. This is how I toggle. That's how I make sure I do things here. And that is exactly what I do. So if you want to use all these settings, go ahead, use it. My link is in the description to sign up. If you do have any future concerns, or you want to list it with me, even though I already showed you how to go through the process, or you might have actually additional questions, I am offering free meetings to list the Airbnb with you. So you're going to share your screen and I will help you list it from start to finish. So again, like, I do have an Instagram page. You could actually schedule that as well. I'm going to keep the link in the bio on where you could schedule a free meeting with me to list it if you have any further questions. And then you could also go follow me on Instagram because I have a lot of cool tips and tricks on there as well. Thank you everybody for watching this. If you have any questions or you have any content that you just want to know, go ahead, comment in the comment section below, and I will try to make as much content as I can to help you successfully launch your Airbnb. Thank you for watching.